Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer. Today we have our Yakima Roof Rack for raised rails here on our 2016 Subaru Forester. We're going to take a look at how it fits, and I'll also show you how to get installed on your Forester, but we will also be discussing some other options for you depending on your different adventures. If someone was to ask me for a recommendation for a roof rack for their Forester, and maybe they had heavier items, they were looking for something that was reliable and something that they know would stand the test of time, that's when I would be recommending the Yakima Roof Rack. Also, if you have items that just need a little bit more distance, you want to maximize your crossbar space, these are a good set to go with because they don't really have limitations in terms of the length of a roof rack you can carry on your Forester. Now, if you were looking for something that was a bit more budget friendly or not as well known of a brand, this is not going to be the one for you. The Yakima Roof Rack is definitely a premium option with premium features. Now, the set I have right now are the 50-inch long Jetstream bars, but this is also available in different crossbar colors or different crossbar styles. Yakima recommends the 50-inch crossbars because it gives you a little bit of an overhang to put other accessories, but not too much where it looks bulky. Depending on what you need to carry around though, you can pick and choose between your different bars. With the 50-inch bars, we have about 2.5 inches of overhang here on the front. That will change though depending on where you put your roof rack on your raised rail. I like having around 4 inches of overhang if I was to carry things like kayak carriers with a load assist function because they require a very specific distance away from your raised rail. But all that means if you want longer bars, you can. This is a really good setup though because you can still utilize it. Now, where you put your towers are going to make up your crossbar spread. Crossbar spread is measured from one bar to the other. Now, I set these crossbars at 27 inches apart because that's just a really good number for most accessories. It will fit with most roof boxes, ski and snowboard carriers, things like that. But if you find that you're in a special situation where you need more or less crossbar spread, you can very easily move these along the rails. And in fact, your maximum crossbar spread will be up to 40 inches here on your Forester. Next measurement is going to be roof clearances. Now, your Forester does have a sunroof, so you do want to make sure that you have enough space between your crossbars and your roof. Measuring from the top of the glass to the bottom of the crossbar, I have it around 4 inches and 1/8 of an inch, and that's a lot of height. So most accessories, even if they have U-bolts with wing nuts, which are going to be your bulkiest style of a clamp, it should be plenty of space for you. The next measurement is going to be the height added to the top of your Forester. Again, top of the glass, this time to the top of the crossbar. I think I'm closer to 5.25 inches of height, and that's going to be where your cargo sits. Again, plenty of height there. If you have skis with tall bindings, you usually have to measure and make sure those bindings don't scratch up your roof. If they do, we have ski and snowboard carriers here at eTrailer that give you that extra height that you may need. So all in all, our numbers here look great in terms of clearances. This roof rack is a kit consisting of 2 different parts. The first part is going to be the crossbar. So the crossbar we have today are the Yakima Jetstream bars, which are aerodynamic in shape, meaning as you drive down the road, this is going to reduce the wind drag and wind noise. But also, if you wanted to attach items up top, you can install them along that track above. The next component is going to be your towers, and these are the TimberLine towers that fit around the raised rails of your Forester. So see how this has a strap that fits around there? That strap is actually metal with a rubber sleeve. I like pretty much any type of clamp that has a strap because I think it provides the best all-around fit. It tightens down securely. You have a really good secure fit on your Forester rails, which gives me a lot of confidence when it comes to loading even the heavier items on there. And what makes this a little different compared to other roof racks, even those that have straps, is that there is a bolt up top securing your crossbar to the tower. There's another bolt on the tower which does the same thing. And then you have your strap bolt. So there's multiple points of contact, multiple points of tension, all working together to really work best for those heavy duty loads. So when you are comparing it with other roof rack systems, yes, your Yakima roof rack is going to be on the pricier side, but there is that assurance there that your crossbars are going to be super duper sturdy for those heavier items, and your towers are also going to be very strong as well. Now, if after recommending the Yakima roof rack to a neighbor, they would say, it's really nice and I like all the features, but it might be a little too pricey for me right now, well, then my next recommendation would be check out the Aero Roof Rack for raised rails. Very similar features. That one has a 51-inch bar option, which is similar and slightly longer than these crossbars. It also has a tower that uses a strap to secure around the raised rails. The difference with that one is going to be it's a lesser known brand, so it doesn't pair as well with other accessories like the Yakima would. Yakima has a lot of roof mounted accessories like roof boxes and carriers, so it's always nice to have them all key alike and have the same style. That's not going to be the same kind of ecosystem that the Inno brand has. Another difference is going to be that the Inno roof rack is going to be a little sleeker or closer to your roof compared to the Yakima roof rack. So if you were looking for something that has that name brand recognition, that longevity, as well as gives you more clearance up above your roof, that's where the Yakima roof rack comes in handy. Otherwise, the Inno Aero Roof Rack is a solid option for other situations. Now, I'm going to show you how I got this installed on our Forester here today. It was very simple, but there are some small pieces there that I would like you to follow along with to make sure that you get that properly installed. Installing a roof rack is super simple, especially once you have everything put together. Now, honestly, the most confusing part might be putting on your adapters for your crossbar. So we are going to start there. I already installed the rear crossbar so that we can install the front crossbar together. So we'll start over here at our tower. We need to remove this end cap first, and this involves pinching on the top, and then the end cap pops out. What we are then going to do is we will go to this top part, and we have our jet stream adapter pieces, which involve this plastic piece that pushes in, and then this block that needs to be threaded onto that bolt. Now, to get access to that bolt, you need to go underneath the tower. So first, loosen the strap with this bolt over here. Push the strap in so that you can see how there's an opening in there, and now we have access to that bolt. So using the tool included with your kit, pushing that on the bolt, you can then place the block on, and then we're going to give it just a couple turns only so that it's loosely threaded but not tight. Here we have our tower, and what we're going to do is we're going to first remove this end cap by pinching up top and then lifting that end cap out. Then we are going to get our tool and we are going to loosen this bolt over here. Now we're then going to go to the top of the tower and see here how we have our jet stream adapter pieces. You first push in the plastic adapter piece, just like that, and then you need to attach this metal block. But to tighten it down to that bolt on the inside, you first need to turn the tower over to its bottom. So the reason that we loosen the strap is so that we're able to push the strap in and then push that bolt out of the way completely. So you can see over there how you now have visibility of that bolt. Well, go ahead and grab your Yakima tool again, and that's what you will use to just thread that bolt onto the plate. Do not tighten it, you just need it very loosely threaded. Now we're going to slide our tower through our crossbar. So the way I do it is I just remove one end cap and then I slide one tower through and I bring the other one and slide that through as well. That way I only have to deal with one end cap. Notice the orientation of our straps here. You want the openings of the straps facing the ends of the crossbars. And then once those are in place, you can then put the end cap right back in. Now from this point on, what you can do is you can then put this onto your roof, double check the location of where the towers sit, and then you tighten down that center piece. Sometimes, if you have enough movement, you can tighten down that center piece right now. And if that's going to be the route you do, well, just keep going until your tool clicks. And that will help prevent over-tightening of that bolt. The reason some people don't do it that way is just because they may have struggle with sliding their tower back and forth. But you can see here on our crossbar, it's still movable. Now we're ready to get this onto our roof. This is a lot easier with a second person to be able to catch the strap on the other side, but still very doable on your own. The main thing we want to do here is make sure that our crossbar is facing the right side. You want the taller part facing the front and the tapered end of your crossbar facing the back. You're then going to very gently lift this up and onto your roof. Depending on how your strap already is, it may fit through the raised rail. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back to the other side and fit it through. On this side, though, this is what that's going to look like. So we're going to have our tower. We're going to bring the strap around, and then we're going to bring it into the tab. Now, we're not going to tighten it down just yet. Our main goal is to get it in a spot where the strap is supported around the rail. And then we also will want to adjust our roof rack back and forth to make sure it's the exact same spot on the rail on both sides. You're also going to have to measure for the overhang, and that's measured from the tower to the end of the crossbar. You want to make sure that's the same on both sides, and that will help you know that it's actually evenly on your roof. So once that is the same, we're then going to save our spot here, and we're going to tighten down the bolt up top. So not the bolt that has or is connected to the strap, but rather the bolt that's connected to that block on top. This will pull the crossbar to the tower. So tighten that down on both sides until your tool clicks. Once both sides have their top bolts secured, this is when you would then take off your roof rack, go underneath the crossbars, put the rubber strips that are included with your kit, and that will help prevent any whistling through your crossbars when you're on the road. Today, this is just going to be a test fit of how this works on our Forester. I'm going to take it off right afterwards, so I'm not going to do that step. But for you, definitely do that so this roof rack will be less noisy on the road. Now, after all that's done, you're then going to tighten down the strap. What I recommend doing is starting off on one side and just tightening down that strap until it makes contact with your raised rail. And then we're going to stop and go to the other side. On the other side, what I do is I tighten it down to the exact same point, and then I just go a little bit further. Now, for your TimberLine towers, you don't really need to go back and forth as much as you do for other roof racks. I still personally think it's a really good thing to do in general, just because you don't want to pull your system one way to the other. So just go back and forth and continue tightening down your strap bolts. Once those bottom bolts are secure on both sides, your next step is to put in the end cap. Now this end cap just pops into that tower and clicks into place, just like that. At this point, you have the option of, if you purchase the Yakima Same Key System keys, which are a pack of lock cores, you can switch out this plastic cover for a metal lock core. Some people do it, some people don't need to. Otherwise, you could just use something flat to turn that if you really want to. As is, it works perfectly fine. That's just something useful for if you have other Yakima accessories and you want them all key-to-like, or you just want extra security. Now, with this in place, have all 4 end caps on those towers. Then I like to give the tower just a good old shake to make sure everything is secure. And that's gonna be it for your install. From this point onwards, my recommendation is just keep your tool maybe in your glove box or something for whenever you do need to take your roof rack off. But in this position, you can now load it up with cargo and hit the road. Today, this was a look at the Yakima Roof Rack with the 50-inch long Jetstream bars, also available in the silver color, as well as the Yakima TimberLine towers for raised rails. And you saw that all here on our 2016 Subaru Forester at etrailer.com.